Let's bring them back to the stage, girls with grit.
I call you up, you act like you're interrupt. I don't have no trouble with you, but I have a little problem with you not me. Baby, you know I'ma take care.
All right.
Cause you said you got my baby.
Dang, I'm glad we got the edited version of that.
Whoops. Sorry.
Hey, but we got your money. That's what you guys want right now, right? You guys want some more money? Everything that we heard today has been really awesome. Would we agree? There's lots of ways to make money, but some of us need to make money like now. Like we need a buyer in our pipeline right now. And this is actually a session that we have taught lots and lots of versions of. Honestly, our coaching students have heard this a million times in a million different versions. But here's the deal, y'all, is it's not the next shiny thing that is going to help you in your business. It's not like some magical unicorn that's going to take off right across the stage and then all of a sudden you guys are going to be seven-figure agents, right? The most successful agents are built from the discipline and the consistency of doing the really boring shit over and over and over again, right? And so the thing about it is if you've heard any of this, I'm sure you guys have heard some of this, but if you've heard any of this and you're not executing it at 100%, then you have room for improvement and you can just go back to the basics, right? Because a lot of this is foundational. We know the things that work. We know the things that create business in short periods of time, especially in markets like this. And so that is what we're going to go over today. But first, we need to set some ground rules. And these might be some new concepts for some agents in this room. Not all the agents, but some of the agents. So here's the deal, y'all. Believe it or not, real estate is not about houses. How many of you guys got in this business because you're like, I really just like houses. I love looking at houses, right? That's okay. Raise your arms around and pot. It's great. You watched a lot of HGTV. You're like, I could totally do that better than selling Sunset. But I mean, we could, right? But this is the thing is that this is a sales career, right? It's not really about the houses at all. This is a sales career. And you have to really openly embrace that in order to find success in markets like these, where you actually have to dig and find business, right? You have to hunt for business. One of our business coaches says, you hunt in the morning and you eat in the afternoon, right? Which basically is just a little thing saying, hey, you need to do your lead generation in the morning. And we'll tell you what, the most successful agents that we see in our program, the ones that are making $250,000, $300,000, $500,000. We have agents in our program that are making $1 million a year right now, and they lead generate 2 hours per day, every single day.
Shocking.
I know, shocking, right?
Well, this actually also applies to those of you that are focused on revenue share, those of you that are focused on building your sales team, anything like that. No matter what, you have to do it in the morning. And I know you get so many interruptions all day long. And by the time 5 o'clock rolls around, you're like, well, there went day 5 of me not doing the one freaking thing that matters in my business again. So that's why it's so important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So we need to be lead generating 2 hours per day. The second thing is your only 2 jobs are to get new clients and serve the ones that you already have. All of the other BS, all of the other show up on social media, all of this other stuff is just like the minutia of it, right? But if you can't get those 2 things right, finding new clients and serving the clients that you have at the highest possible level, you will not find success in this business. So that's the second principle we have to all agree on. The third thing is you need to make an offer every single day. Okay, now I'm not talking about writing an offer on a property. That's not what I'm talking about. What we're talking about is you need to make an offer out to your sphere, out to the people who are following you, out to your potential clients every single day. And what that might be something, and we're going to give you some ideas in a little bit, but that might be something as simple as, hey, I have this guide about 5 things that you need to do to your house before you put it on the market, right? That's making an offer out there to somebody. Who do you think is going to opt into that offer? 5 things to do before you put your house on the market? people who are raising their hands to put their house on the market, right? So you need to be making an offer every single day. And, well, I'm going to ask you a question here, actually. Do you guys think you get paid at closing? Who would say, yes, we get paid at, hopefully we get paid at closing too, right? You actually get paid when you lead generate. Closing is a lag measure of all of the activities that you did 30, 60, and 90 days ago, right? It's great. We love to cash those checks, but at the end of the day, it is just showing us the work that we have already done in the past. And so all the lead generation that you're not doing today is going to show up in your bank account 2 months from now, 3 months from now, right? So just remember all of those phone calls that you're making, all of those, when you're reaching out to your past clients, you're doing the client events, you're doing all of these prospecting activities, that's actually when you're getting paid.
Now, I think a lot of us go into this and we think, well, passive lead gen's where it's at. I just want people to call me. Those of you that are team leaders are laughing because you know this. Your agents on your team are like, my phone's not ringing. And those of us that have been in the industry for a really long time, back when the market crashed, our phone wasn't ringing. So we had to figure out how to build a business, right? Passive lead generation is not enough. And so, it's okay. I don't want to embarrass anyone and just say, hey, raise your hand if this is the only thing you're doing. But at the end of the day, I think so many agents right now are doing passive lead generation and checking the box and saying, I did what I needed to do. Why am I not successful? Why have I not had a closing in 3 months? I'm doing all of these things right here. And it's because you're not actually lead generating for things that are right here at the bottom of the funnel. You're lead generating for things up here at the top that maybe eventually they will come to fruition, a year, 2 years from now. But passive lead generation really is exactly that. And we can't focus all of our energy on that. In fact, social media I'm just going to say it. I really think that right now social media can be a poison for those of you that are trying to build a big real estate business and that's all you're focusing on. I said it.
She's right. She's right. Where's your mother?
I'm not as young as I used to be, okay? But I've been in this, I hate saying this.
Oh my God, you're not even 40.
I'm not even 40 yet, but I look it. So I got in the industry really young, right out of college. And I remember, and I said this yesterday, when I was really young and I looked at the 40-year-old average agent and was like, man, that would be awesome to not have to do social media and just get referral business and do all this stuff and just kick my feet up. Now that I'm on the other side of that, I know that's not really where it's at. So let's go through this real quick. Number one, social media presence, it's not enough. Especially those of you, there's nothing wrong with this, but especially those of you that are utilizing these canned content subscriptions. You know what I'm talking about, where you just plop your image in and post away, copy and paste the caption, and wait for the phone to ring. It's not enough. Those of you that are doing the TikTok videos thinking, I'm lead generating 6 hours a day creating these little TikToks. How come I still don't have any business? Okay, so that's what we're talking about here. That's passive lead generation. Now, I'm not saying that doing these activities isn't going to get you business, but it's not the right activities that's going to get you business now. Y'all hear me? Number two, sphere of influence marketing and simply just knowing someone. Hi. They know 9, 10, probably in my market, 20 other agents. Just simply knowing them is not enough. And we get pissed off because they didn't use us, they used somebody else. But what is it that you did to actually earn that business? Just because you know them. They know, freaking 20 other agents at this point. So that's not enough anymore. Referral business, it actually, unfortunately, lacks the control that you need. And that was me back in my 20s thinking, I want to get to that point someday where all of my business is just referral-based business. The problem with that is you can't turn that faucet on and off like you can with other lead generation tactics, right? It just falls in our lap. And I know all of you that were a part of the real estate industry in 2020, 2021, and the first part of 2022, we didn't have to lead generate. In fact, we were dying trying to keep up with everyone who was calling us, DMing us, because everyone and their mama was saying it's a good time to buy and sell, right? Because rates were so low, money was cheap, let's get something now. So that's the problem. It's we relied on that, and we just thought it's going to continue to be that, and I'm just going to get referrals, and people are just going to reach out to me. and we were suffocating. But at the end of the day, we're over here now on this side of the pendulum where it's like, I can't control it. I can't turn that lead gen faucet on. It's just coming to me when they decide. And not everyone right now, you guys know, is deciding to buy with rates the way it is. So another last piece here is MLS listings are not active marketing for most of you. All right, I don't really think I need to dive deep into that. That's kind of like goes without saying.
Okay, so like Jamie mentioned, the passive lead generation is not a bad thing, right? We still need to be doing that in our business. And if we're doing it correctly, it will come to us passively, right? But we can't rely on that. And especially if we're wanting to get now business. So what does active lead generation look like, right? This is, you're on the hunt, right? Like Tara mentioned, you're going to hunt in the morning, you're going to eat in the afternoon. You are searching for potential clients that have raised their hand. So what can that look like? Shout it out. Who knows? Give me some examples of potential clients that are raising their hands.
There you
Expireds.
go. FSBOs,
FSBOs.
expireds. Perfect.
Yep. FSBOs, expireds, all the maybe in your Facebook groups where you see somebody that says, I'm moving, or I'm thinking about putting my house on the market, or does anybody know anybody that's moved to that neighborhood? I'm curious about, like, do they have a pool? Yada, yada. Y'all know the people I'm talking about. You're looking for opportunities. So clients that have raised their hand, right? Those people have a current problem that you can solve, right? FSBOs have a current problem that you can solve. Most likely it's marketing, right? Expireds probably have more than one problem that you potentially can solve, right? People moving, people looking for resources. What we're looking for here is quality over quantity. When you're doing active lead generation and you're spending 2 hours a day on that, it is not about the number of dials. I mean, some people might disagree with me, but it's not about the number of like people you can spam, right? We would rather you have 5 really deep conversations and move people down the funnel and connect and build rapport and build trust versus just maybe haphazardly like hitting 100 people, right? So when you're focused on that active lead gen, make sure that's what you're staying in tune with. Who's raised their hand? How can I solve their problem? And how can I have quality conversations over quantity?
Perfect. So every single person, prospect that you're going to come into contact with is going to go through the customer relationship funnel. And they're going to enter this funnel with you guys in different places, depending on how you're reaching out and prospecting to them, right? So let us give you an example. The very top of the funnel, these are people that don't even know you're a realtor, right? And the ways that you might be prospecting to attract this type of client is things like online contests, right? If you did a enter to win this amazing tailgate package contest, right? Enter to win this 50-inch TV. Enter to win tickets, a family 4-pack to our local amusement park. The thing about it is those are great because you get quantity of leads coming in, but they don't even know that you're a realtor. They're not even paying attention to that, right? So you need to be able, that's the person that's way up here. So when you are doing that type of marketing exclusively, you're reaching only people that are way, way, way at the top of the funnel. We see a lot of people that are doing like community bucket lists, what to do in my town, right? Community events, the first few exposures that you see to that, those are way, way, way up here. The next situation is going to be they know you're a realtor, but they don't know you, right? You as a realtor. So these are activities like cold prospecting. These might be door knocking around your open house. This might be circle prospecting, right? When you're calling around your new listing or your open house area. It might be doing a neighbors only invite to your open house, right? Maybe you take that approach and you have a neighbors only time that just the neighbors get to come into your open house. Initial mailers to your farm. Initial social media interaction, open house attendees, like all of these things are still right up here in the top of the funnel. And so that's going to take a while for you to convert that client that comes in because you did a neighbors only open house all the way down to a buying decision.
So basically what we're telling you is this is why you're frustrated. You think you're doing the work, and you are, but you're not doing the work for like, I need to get paid today. I need to freaking pay my mortgage. You're doing this stuff that's eventually going to happen. It's not going to happen right now. So the next piece of that funnel is basically they know you're a realtor and they see your expertise. So that could look like social media posts. Maybe you're sending out just listed, just sold postcards. Maybe you're holding an open house. You've also got some direct mail pieces, which is kind of what we utilize our Momentum project for. We do those templates for our girls, and they're seeing huge success with that direct mail. Now, here's the thing. I think a lot of people thought for so long direct mail's dead, direct email marketing's dead, and those of you that pay attention to marketing gurus and geniuses know that that's actually the complete opposite now. Everyone's over here on social media, and there's so much noise and there's so much distraction that when you post something on social media and you're doing these things, 10% of your audience will see any given post. Direct mail marketing, you have a 100% chance of getting in front of them, even if they only see it for 5 seconds to 30 seconds. And we're seeing success with it every day. Our coaching girls are seeing success with direct mail every single day. So it's not dead like some of you think it is, and we really want to encourage you, maybe consider some of these. Thank you. Attending a client event. It could be a little bit somewhere around the funnel, because remember, at the end of the day, after you close out a sale, these people go right back to the top of your funnel. You have to earn the right to have their business on repeat. Just because you close them once on a house doesn't mean they're going to choose you the next time. In fact, shoot, I've had that happen to me where, maybe they ended up having a family member that got their license and they decided to use them. And that's okay. We're not going to win them all. But what we're trying to tell you here is you just have to have repeat exposure, constantly staying in front of people, doing all the things, becoming 5 Mile famous, which is another keynote speech we have, by the way. But you have to have this on repeat, and you have to ensure that you're everywhere. You want to be in direct mail. You want to be in direct email. You want to be on social media. You want them to see you so many times that there's only one obvious choice when they're ready to do something.
It's a lot easier to be at the right place at the right time when you're at the right place all the time.
I like it. That's good.
I'm going to make a t-shirt with that.
You should make a t-shirt. I think it's important to note that repeat exposure and going from seeing that you're the expert to trusting that you're the expert, like that part of the customer relationship funnel, your people might stay there for a while, years even, and that's okay, right? We have to just continually stay in front of them. So now that you've had that repeat exposure, now they trust your expertise. These are a couple of examples that maybe, are happening in that relationship right now, right? You're delivering item of value. Maybe they've kind of moved down, they're on your pop buy list, right? You're willing to, that relationship has progressed, you're willing to put a little bit more money into it, right? They're receiving emails constantly. We preach once a week on emails, and maybe they don't open every single one. That's okay. And you're going to let me tell y'all, you're going to get people that will unsubscribe, and it will hurt your little heart, because it hurts my little heart when people unsubscribe from Girls with Grit, because we write our own emails. And so it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So don't let that deter you or discourage you. Just continue to add people to the funnel. People will fall off. New people will be added. It's okay. And then these people are continuing to receive your direct mail. So
I think kind of just recognizing that everybody is going to go through this funnel at some pace is really important. The thing about it is you can control, to an extent, the pace that these people come through the funnel, and you do that through frequency, right? So let's just give you an example. Let's say the first time this person encounters you is at an open house. And so they come in and they meet you, and you really felt like you headed off at this open house, right? And so they're coming in around section number 2 here. But let's say you just keep forgetting to follow up with them, or you feel like you don't really have anything to say, or, again, like Jamie said, we go through the day and before we know it, we didn't follow up with them, and then it happens again the next day. If you're consistent and you maintain a rapid pace of frequency, you can build trust faster with your prospects. And that way, when they are ready to make a decision, they already know in their minds that you are the realtor of choice. It's just about calling you now, right? But if you drag your ass all the way at the top of the funnel and you only send one email every 3 months, and then you post on social media now and then, and you never pick up the phone because you don't know what to say, well, you're going to take months, if not years, to build through this funnel, right? So frequency and consistency is super important. So we're going to give you guys 10 ways right now to build now business, and this is number 1, Lauren.
Yep, so we call these our daily high fives. We used to say 5 people, and it worked really good because it was high fives, 5 people, but the market has changed. You have to talk to more people to convert more leads. Okay, so 10 contacts a day is what we're saying on this. What we mean by a contact, again, we're not talking about mass spam. This isn't you commenting on somebody's social media or you sending out like 50 DMs and nobody responding. Great, but those don't count, okay? 10 per day, back and forth conversations. This can be a phone call, this can be a text, this can be a DM, what platform you're comfortable with, that's fine. And it doesn't need to be real estate related, y'all. People do not want you up in their space. Do you know anybody that wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Like, please, if we're using that script, like, people see through it immediately, okay? That makes it about you and not about them. So maybe this looks like Jamie got a new puppy, right? She posted on her Facebook, oh, cute puppy. What am I going to do? Instead of commenting on her Facebook post, I love your dog, no, I'm going to send her a DM. And I'm going to say, hey, Jamie, I saw you got a new puppy. I don't know if you know, I got a new puppy last year. And did you know you can go on like chewy.com and you can get the cutest little box like once a month of a new toy, right? Whatever. You're creating a conversation. Sometimes we overthink this, like really overthink this, and we don't know what to say to people. Just be a human. Just be a human and have conversations. So 10 a day, back and forth, not real estate related. See what happens. Think about the compound effect of that. You do that every single week. That's 50 people a week. 200, I have to math this again. We just did this yesterday. 50 a week, 200 a month, right? 2,400 a year, new people that you're having conversations with back and forth. Now, there's nobody in this room that can tell me if you don't have 2,400 new conversations every single year that you won't increase your business. I guarantee it will happen.
The other piece of that is if you're, real quick, before we move on to the next one, if you're doing this on social media, the reason why we're recommending DMs and stuff, Facebook algorithm, Instagram algorithm, maybe TikTok, I don't know. I don't really use TikTok that much anymore. It's going to trick the algorithm that y'all like each other. So the next time you actually post about real estate on your news feed, you have a higher chance that they're actually going to see it. So that's why you need to be in the DMs, not just commenting on their posts and stuff. And that's fine. Maybe you comment, but you also need to send them that DM and try to create a back and forth conversation. So that's the ninja trick there. And that's why we recommend it.
The easiest way to create a conversation, and we all know this, right? But just to be reminded, is to ask a question.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, number 2, lead magnet. Now, Tara touched on this a little bit earlier, but you have to have a message to market match. Now, these lead magnets aren't going to be the thing that gets you that 500 people into the top of your funnel. You do these, you're going to get like 1 or 2 people that respond. But guess what? You need to freaking celebrate that. That's 1 or 2 people that are likely to buy and sell within the next 30, 60, 90 days. But remember, words matter. And for example, some of these right here, 5 things to do before you sell your house now. 7 reasons to sell your house before winter. Ooh, that's a good one. Increase your home value by $20K by doing these 3 things. 5 reasons to buy new construction in Holly Springs now. These are things that we've actually created. 9 mistakes almost every home buyer makes. Ooh, this is a good one. Is your realtor the one? Woo. I mean, I'd like to put that one out right now. Remember, these are evergreen, so you make maybe 5 lead magnets, okay? Rotate them every month. Rotate them throughout the year. Don't overthink this. I think the thing is, we think we need to reinvent the wheel and recreate cool new content every single month. You don't, you guys. You have a buyer's guide. You've got all of these cool things at your fingertips. Our coaching students have all of this and more that they can just rip off, put their pretty little picture in there, put their brand in there, and they're ready to go. And that's why we preach this so hard, because we know that this freaking works. Not only are we doing it, but so are they at a super high level. But these things are going to be the things that get you business now. And again, 1 to 2 contacts maybe, if you're lucky. But just remember, it's not going to be the thing that gets you 1,000 people in your email list.
All right, the next one is home equity reports. Now, we just said in the last screen that words matter. So home equity reports are going to be very similar to a comparative market analysis, right? But here's the difference. A comparative market analysis makes it about you when you send that out. Let me tell you how much I can sell your house for, right? When you talk about a home equity report, it's essentially the same report, but we're shifting the focus from us as the agents to the homeowner, right? So now this is no longer about how much can I sell your house for, but it's about let me teach you, let me educate you about how much home equity you have right now. Did you guys know that the average homeowner has almost $300,000 in equity right now? That is wild, right? And people don't want to give up their rates, but what could you do? You could show them how they could use their home equity to invest in an investment property, right? You could teach them how to use their home equity to pay down some credit card debt and reduce their overall household interest rate, right? There's so many different things that you can do with a home equity report. Now, we like to be flashy about things. In case you can't tell, we like our branding. We like to kind of be up there. So we don't just deliver an envelope with a report in it, okay? We get an actual box that's fully branded. We do put the report inside there, but along with the report, we're also going to include some additional promotional materials, right? So this might be a testimonial book of all of the testimonials that you guys have had from your previous clients. It might be, depending on who your target recipient is, it might be your buyer guide. It might be your seller guide. It might be your vendor guide, right? Depending on the situation. And these home equity reports, they can go out, they should be going out annually to your clients every single year. You're a real estate agent. Do you guys get a phone call from your dentist saying, hey, you're ready for your checkup, right? Absolutely you do. So it's the same thing with real estate. You need to be doing your annual checkup with your clients every single year. If you have a lead capture form on your website for home value requests, look, people are starting to kick tires about that again, right? So you could send a home equity report to that. BizBos and expireds, right? So expireds, what happens when a property goes expired? They get 8,000 phone calls between the hours of 8 a.m. and 9 a.m., and 99% of those people are never going to follow up again. What if instead of being one of those 8,000 phone calls, you actually delivered this box to their front door? Do you think that your level of professionalism is way up here compared to that 50,000 phone call that they got today? Absolutely. And you're already displaying your level of professionalism with all of your marketing materials inside these home equity reports, right? And these are clients that have raised their hand. They're an expired. They already said, I want to sell my house, right? So help them. Same thing with for sale by owner, right? Now, don't make it about you with for sale by owner. Don't lie and say, oh, I have a buyer when you don't. But you could provide some materials to them, right? Here's 5 professional contacts that you might need in your for sale by owner process. What do we know about for sale by owners? More than 80% of them will be listed by an agent at some point in time, right? So if you're the agent that's providing all this information to them in the meantime, you will also be the agent of choice when that comes back around. You can also provide these inside of local Facebook groups. We have a really great ninja trick on the next slide with local Facebook groups, but you could provide them in your neighborhood group, right? Maybe you just choose 10 houses every single week that you're going to provide a home equity report to in your farm area. That would be another option.
Speaking of Facebook groups, if you're going to scroll anyway, and remember we're looking for opportunities, let's just troll those Facebook groups and actually try to help identify people. Do y'all know how to search in Facebook groups? First of all, are you a part of all your hyper local Facebook groups, right? Moms groups, yard sale groups, junk groups, all the things, right? If you're not, and I know they clog your feed, but if you're not, you need to join them because there's tons of opportunities inside those groups. You can search, use key terms. Here's a couple of examples: moving, relocating, selling, listing, realtor, real estate agent, mover, moving company. Maybe if it's a hyper local group and there's a neighborhood that's super popular that somebody might be posting about, use that as one of your terms, right? You want to be the resource for everything, okay? So in Facebook groups, how many times have you seen somebody say, I'm looking for a painter, maybe in your neighborhood Facebook group, right? Well, do you have a vendor guide? Do you have a vendor guide that has all of your people on it? How about instead of, well, you could put it out there, but you could also say, hey, I actually have a painter, and you go in their DMs, right? And you say, hey, would you like here's my painter, right? You don't gatekeep all of it. Here's my painter, call him. But I also, if you would like my full list, I have this for my clients, my past clients and my current clients that I serve. Let me just go ahead and give you a copy of it. You put it behind a form, you collect their name and email address, and then you follow up accordingly, okay? So there's tons of opportunities in these Facebook groups if we'll just kind of put our little radar ears and eyes on and pay attention, okay? Our Herbox Ninja trick that Tara was referring to, if you see somebody that says they're about to list their home, right, look them up. Are we not all part-time CIA people in here? Because I feel like when I need to find the info, I can find the info, okay? It's like private investigator over here. You have their name, right? You probably have their zip code or maybe their neighborhood if you search back and see what else they've posted. Find their address. Take them a Herbox like we were just talking about. I know it's an investment of maybe $5 to $6, but how many of us are just wasting money out there on all these cold leads, which hopefully we can convert, right? Maybe 1 in 300. Or we can utilize these people that have raised their hands that are more warm, right? And take them an item of value.
And our coaching students are doing this every day and seeing massive success. There's a reason why they're selling and making $250,000 on average versus $40K a year. So it just works.
All right, our next one is going to be workshops. Now, if we're looking for people that are at the bottom of the funnel, we are going to be doing specific real estate type of workshops, okay? And this is not this is not home buyer workshop. Okay, that is not nearly specific enough for the audience that you want to try to reach. You want to host a first-time homebuyer workshop, a move-up homebuyer workshop, a first-time investor homebuyer workshop, right? And the reason for that is you can craft your messages when you are that specific. You can craft your messages, and they will feel like you are speaking directly to them, right? When you're addressing what problems those first-time homebuyers have, and you're like, we're going to cover all of this. We're going to cover down payment assistance. We're going to cover what the process looks like. We're going to cover how to not make this scary for you. They're like, I am in. Like, I don't even know who this person is, but I do want to learn all those things. I want to learn about how I can get free money for my down payment assistance, right? But that might not be the right message for a move-up buyer. Your message for a move-up buyer might be different. It might be like, we're going to cover how to sell and buy at the same time, right? Do you have to sell your house before you buy another house? So the more specific that you can make them, the more people will be invested, and your attendance rate will be a lot higher as well. And we suggest what we call media jacking, right? So things that are going on right now in the industry, take what's in the news right now and create a workshop out of it. So this example that's right here on this slide, last year, Colorado property taxes went up 47% in 1 year. Yeah, crazy, right? And it was all over the news. And basically all the news was saying was like, sorry, not sorry, there's really nothing you can do about it. But what my husband and I did is we decided to host a workshop because we realized based on all of these news programs, people don't even understand property taxes. They have no idea how much they are, how they're calculated, where they go to, any of these things, how they affect their payments. And so we were like, you know what we're going to do is we're going to host a workshop. So this is literally our, you guys can tell I have a little bit of a foul mouth here and there. Sorry about that. But how to contest that big ass tax bill. This was our actual ad for it. We blasted it out everywhere. We ended up having over 70 attendees to this workshop. And it was people that were genuinely there to learn about, can I contest my property taxes? Do I need to sell? Can I even afford my home anymore after these increases, right? And it's giving me us an opportunity to display our expertise at these workshops, right? So now who is the realtor of choice when those people do want to sell, right? It's us. They call us for everything. Like literally, like, where do I find my paint colors for the exterior of my house? Like, that goes to me somehow. But that's what you want, right? You want to be the digital mayor. Some specific messaging that you can think about is move-up buyer, first-time home buyer, investor, property tax, downsizing. What a great workshop to do, right? Is to help somebody downsize from their big, what they thought was going to be their forever home into their right sizing. Leveraging your home equity, how to prep for lowering interest rates. That's a media thing that's happening right now, right? As people are starting to learn that the interest rates are coming down. Or how to get free money for your down payment.
All right.
Whoa,
what happened?
I don't know.
We go.
No, it's not.
It's not scrolling.
Dang. It's broken. Okay.
I'm not sure.
IT, help me. Oh,
There
there,
we
there,
go.
there.
Okay.
Okay.
This slide's messed up, so don't pay attention to the bullet points. Sorry, that was like a 1 a.m. mistake. Facebook ads. What we recommend with Facebook ads, technically you want to do a organic post, and if it starts to take off, that's the one that you actually turn into an ad, okay? Because it already looks, it doesn't look like an ad is what I'm saying. Those are the ones that do really, really well. I do these property highlight videos. You guys have seen them all over social media. But what I do them a little bit differently, and I put them to a retargeting list. So if you have an actual CSV file of any of your past leads, past clients, people that you know live around whatever listing address that is, you can take that CSV file, pop it into Facebook, and do a direct ad to those people. I sold this house actually. I think I shared the story yesterday because somebody reached out to me. They had a son that was relocating to the area, and they knew that I was the hyperlocal famous agent for 12 Oaks because they see all my stuff. They see all my stuff because I'm retargeting them. So it works when you work it correctly.
It's that frequency, right?
All right, open houses. This sounds so real estate 101, doesn't it? But like, how many of us are doing it? How many of us are doing this at a high level, right? You know where you won't find a client to buy? When you sit in your home office every single day. That would be actually really weird if they walked in. I mean, I'm here for it, but oh, hey, I found out you lived here. So you won't find a client at your own home office. You know where you might find a client? At an open house. So if you're going to work anyway, why don't you go set up shop at an open house? I don't know why in real estate we've decided, we talked about this yesterday, that open houses are only from 1 to 3 or 12 to 2. I think it's because they sell riders that are already pre-filled with those time slots. Think outside the box, okay? If you're going to do an open house correct and you're going to prep it and you're going to put 20 signs out and you're going to do all the work, why are we only sitting there for 2 hours? I don't know, because somebody else told us that's how we were supposed to do it. So why don't we get like serious about our open houses, do them 3 times a week, right? We have one of our coaching students yesterday said she challenged herself to do 30 open houses in 30 days. Like, go girl, get it. I guarantee you she won't be after that 30 days without some sort of lead converted. Like, there's just no way. So plan it in advance. Think outside the box. Maybe do a themed open house, right? We talk about
Jennifer Carlson and her mullet open house.
We literally have a girl that is doing a cookout mullet. She's got a mullet that she's wearing like redneck style. Now she's in the like Podunk, North Carolina, but it's all good. But yeah, you have to stand out. That's what we want is eyeballs and traffic. So like, do the things a little bit different. We've had girls do like content shoots, right? They have open houses where people like either for your clients or other real estate agents, right? You could have an ice cream truck, have a coffee truck, do a brunch, do something, just do something, right? Maybe you do Twilight open house. Sometimes those types of neighborhoods in the suburbs where people are getting off work at 4 and 5, like they would much rather just swing by your open house between, 5 and 8 versus trying to do that in the middle of a Saturday when their kids are doing sports. Like think about who your demographic is. When you're going to do an open house, we recommend doing a neighbors only portion. How many of you guys are door knocking or sending mailers or a combination of both when you have an open house to the neighbors, right? Just be honest with them. You don't have to be like, oh, maybe you want to buy this house. They probably don't. Just be like, hey, you know what? Isn't it fun to like look in your neighbor's house and like check it out? You might know somebody that wants to move to the neighborhood, right? Maybe you have a family member that's moving to the neighborhood. Actually, I'm going to be doing this anyway. So what I thought I would do is just have that first hour just for neighbors. So we don't have to make it weird. It's no pressure, right? Come on by. What you're actually doing there is branding, right? And positioning yourself for maybe potential clients. I know it's happened to me multiple times. You have an open house, somebody comes in, they were a neighbor, they weren't planning on doing anything, all of a sudden their cousin's moving and they don't know any other agents, now they know you, right? So do neighbors only, Twilight. Use a feedback survey form for information, okay? This is key. We teach our coaching students to use a little clipboard with a survey form. Please, 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 don't just be like, are you working with a real estate agent? Of course, they're going to say, yeah, okay, because they want you to stop talking. You have control there. That's true. It's true. You have control. And Tara is like super sweet little Barbie doll, but she will cut somebody if they don't give her the information at an open house. Okay?
Look, you are not obligated to let people into your open houses that don't give you information. Y'all stop that. Stop it. It is not good for the seller for you to let strangers run through the open house that don't want to give you information. Sometimes, absolutely.
Someone call
right?
security, sure?
Yeah,
Yes.
if you don't have a husband that looks like mine, get you one, or maybe you co-host it with a lender or something along those lines, right, for safety reasons. But look, this is the thing. If they were going to go look at an apartment complex, they would have to give a copy of their ID to get past the sales office.
Period.
Why do we not do that in real estate? Yes, ma'am.
Bye.
Yeah, so, okay, first of all, you're going to sorry, guys, we're going over time a little bit. Nicole, is that okay? Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start by having a banner right outside the open house that says something along the lines of, all visitors are required to register. Unattended children will be given a free puppy and ice cream. Okay. It's funny, but it also softens the blow a little bit, right? Like when it doesn't feel like so stuffy. And when they walk in, I sold new construction for 10 years, y'all. Every day of my life was an open house for 10 years. And so what you do, this is why we have a clipboard for you. You hold the clipboard. When they walk in, you can ask them, how did you find me? Blah, blah, blah. Make a little bit of small talk. Be like, great. We would love to get you to take a tour of this house. Give us a little bit of feedback. My seller does require that I have contact information for everybody that goes through the house. So what's your name? You're filling it out because then you can read it. And people, they have a hard time lying like straight to your face. So they'll give you their name, right? And then you'd be like, I just need one piece of contact information from you just so I'm not going to spam you. I don't have time for it. You don't have time for it, but I do need a piece of contact information. Can you just share with me your email address or your phone number? Again, people have a hard time lying on the run, right? So you're going to write it down, and then you're going to hand them the survey, and you're going to be like, we would really appreciate your candid feedback on this home. We know you're out there looking at open houses, so we'd love to know what you think about the condition, about the price. Like, just make some comments. I'm going to see it before the sellers do. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions, you let me know. Oh, yeah, absolutely, y'all.
Nice script. It's like you know what you're doing, or you coach people. I don't know.
Like that. Okay, so open houses. And y'all, with everything that's happening with this buyer agency stuff, if you guys don't think that buyers are going to start going to open houses first again, you are lying to yourselves, because they're not going to understand what's happening at first, right? And they're going to be like, well, screw this. I am not signing a buyer agency agreement with this person. I'm just going to go look at open houses instead. I can get into tons of them, right? So there's going to be a great opportunity for open houses.
All right, this one real quick, lean into partners. So identify your professional partners. You've got a whole list of them. Take a picture of this right here real quick. Make sure you're offering support and resources, and do tag team workshops with your power partners. And if they're not willing to do anything with you, find a new freaking power partner.
Yes, thank you. Oh, is that it for that slide? Okay.
I'm trying to get through this for them.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
hunt yard sales. I'll be quick because I know we're over. They still do yard sales in Dallas? I'm sure they do. All right. That's somebody that's potentially raised their hand, right? They're cleaning out. People are cleaning out. They've got all the furniture on their lawn. Go have a conversation. All right? That's the first sign of somebody thinking about moving, as they start to clean out. They start to organize. Maybe they have a realtor. Maybe they don't. You don't know unless you ask, right? So, yeah, use yard sales. You can hunt those in person or, in the on like marketplace, right? You see people that it says like moving sale, and they're getting rid of all their stuff. So.
All right, last one. I'm going to try to go fast on this one. There are two kinds of investors in the world, of property investors. Number one is the accidental investor, right? The accidental investor is the person that kept their old house because they didn't want to have to sell it and move out, so they just kept it as a rental because somebody told them that was going to be a great idea, right? Or maybe they inherited a property. They don't really want to be landlords, y'all. They are just doing it. They're doing it out of habit. Time went fast. Now all of a sudden it's up for rent again. So here they are on Craigslist and Zillow and every place else, right, marketing it. They are ripe for somebody to come in and save them from having to have another year of a tenant, right? So shop those rental listings. The second type of investor are people that love houses, right? It is an addiction. Once you buy your first investment property, it's like potato chips. Like you just can't get enough, right? We all know this. And so you're going to run into one of those two types of investors when you are shopping these rental listings, and both of them are really, really good for you, right? So identify those for rent by owners. Run a rental analysis for them. We all know about what that house would sell for, and we all know what they're trying to rent it for. Is that a good cap rate for them or not? If it's not a good cap rate for them, then send them a rental analysis and ask them, have you taken a look lately at how well your money is working for you? I noticed that your property is being rented, or you're asking this much for rent. I think it's probably worth about this much on the open market. I feel like we could reinvest your money someplace else for a higher return on investment. And guess what? I can also show you how to do it without having to pay proper or capital gains taxes right when you sell, right? And invest in it and introduce them to your 1031 exchange specialist. Now you're teaching people how to build wealth. People will love you forever, right? If you help people feed their kids and their families, people will love you forever. So yes, that is the accidental investor. You might want to have an opportunities list available of different investment properties that you think are great return on investment. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, that's it, right? Find us on Facebook. Come hang out with us.
Go
Learn
get more
more.
business.